So one night I just decided to suck it up and do it. I turned my camera on stream. I remember I announced like face reveal and I had like 1,500 viewers, like double what I usually have when I did the face reveal. And it was the worst night of my life.
Why?